Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. So today I'm going to add another installment to my What Am I Sowing series. And today's installment is going to be zinnias. I love zinnias. Zinnias are just one of those super flowers that have so many wonderful purposes in the garden, and they have such a variety of flower colors and shapes and styles, and even varieties in heights. So they're just a powerhouse to have in your garden. I like to have them planted in my vegetable garden. I think they attract so many pollinators. They attract butterflies. I've heard of hummingbirds. I've never seen a hummingbird on mine, but I've heard of people having hummingbirds on theirs. They attract all sorts of like beetles and things that will crawl around and pollinate. You know, you'll have your skippers and your moths on them. Just a great overall pollinator attractor. And they're just beautiful to look at. So I have 4 varieties that I picked out and purchased, and one that is given to me as a free bonus seed pack in one of my seed orders. So let's have a look at these and just see what I'm going to be growing for zinnias this year. I've brought out my seed catalog from the company I ordered all of these from, just so that I can make sure I get a really good reference of what the shapes and colors are, because there's just such a variety, and I want to make sure I get it right for you. So the first one is the Mardi Gras mix. It's supposed to be gold, white, and a rich purple. I don't know, in the picture it looks like a deep pink to me, but you never really know. And they're 45 to 16 centimeters tall. So that's a nice size. They have a nice height to them. These ones look like they're kind of a semi-double. And like I said, I didn't pick these out, but I'm thinking that they're going to be beautiful added into my collection. The next one I have here is Cinderella Peach, and I was seeing these on so many videos, this Cinderella zinnias. I've seen so many people growing these. They come in peach and lime, I think. Let me see. Oh, peach and purple. I think there's a lime one too. It's not listed in my catalog, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But this one is the peach. Now, what makes these Cinderella ones so special is they have kind of a fuzzy top on them, and then just one single row of those regular petals around the outside. They're just a beautiful, fuzzy, special kind of looking zinnia. If you've ever seen the teddy bear sunflowers, I think they would have kind of a similar look, only on a much smaller scale. So these ones, the fuzzy kind of looking part is kind of an orangey, yellowy peach color, and then the outer petals kind of go to like a pinkish tone. So it has like this nice variation in color throughout it, and it'll be a nice addition to my garden. I can't wait to see these growing. Now I have the Queenie Lime. This is Queenie Lime Red. Queenie Lime is a series of zinnias as well, and they are another one that has a nice variegation in color throughout the flower. They start out kind of in one color in the center. The very center is usually kind of, I think, like a pink or a reddish orange kind of color, and then they'll have like a lighter color, I think, generally around the outside, and then it turns into kind of a deeper color of something else on the outside. So that didn't explain it well, but it's this one here. It has like that pink lemonade kind of as the main color on the outer part, and then it has that kind of circle of like yellow around the inner part. So I think it's going to be really, really beautiful, and I can't wait to see it. I probably said that on the other ones as well. I really like zinnias. This one is from the Sahara series, and this one is Sahara Raspberry Lemonade. So this one has a variety of colors in it, and as you might expect from the title, it's kind of, again, lemonade colors. So it has yellow, corals, and pinks. So there's different flowers with those different colors. These are a single, and I believe the kind of inner part of the petals has kind of a deeper burgundy pinkish color on a lot of them as well. So these will be really interesting to see. There's supposed to be a little bit bigger blooms on these, I believe. And very disease resistant, drought resistant, heat resistant, which I find I've never had trouble with my zinnias. Maybe if you live in a really hot and humid area, maybe there's more diseases and issues with them. But here I find they just love the heat. But we're pretty dry here. And then this is Bennery's Giant. And these are big zinnias. I've never grown them, and I can't wait to see if they are really as big as they are billed to be. Because these are supposed to be like 3 to 4 inch, like big blooms on really stocky, sturdy stems. And let me just remember the colors here. I think it's just a mix of colors. Yeah, it just says a mix of colors. And they say 28. They say they're 28 to 36 inches tall. So this would be a nice, good size flower for height and the actual flower. It's going to be great. I can't wait. These are all going to be a really nice complement to one another, I think, in the garden. And that's something I find with zinnias. Like, I find they all just have a nice tone to them that they tend to blend together. It doesn't really matter which zinnias you get. I've never had them go, oh, I don't want those zinnias next to another. Now, I like a nice, bright, colorful garden. We have a short season. I want to see color. So if you really want a muted or single color palette, then you might want to be a little more careful about what zinnias you pick. But I want to see that color. And I think I mentioned earlier, I tend to stick these in my vegetable garden. And zinnias are great for that because they don't have a lot of extra foliage on them. You know, they grow these nice tall stalks, and you know, they do have leaves, but it's not like an overabundance. So they aren't really impeding your airflow or your sun getting to other plants in the garden. They're just going to give you a nice bright pop of color here and there, and they're going to draw the pollinators in. Because if you put these in between your plants in your garden, you know, you have like a cucumber and a zinnia and a cucumber, you know, or a row of peas and a row of zinnias and a row of peas. They're bringing the pollinators right in there where your vegetable plants are flowering, and so the pollinators are more apt to then travel around to those flowers as well. Whereas I find if you just have like a little patch of zinnias or any other flower on the side of your vegetable garden, the pollinators might skip over the vegetable flowers and go over to that patch of flowers. So that's what I like about flowers like zinnias that are tall and narrow, and you can easily just tuck them into different places in your vegetable garden. They're a great cut flower. They last very well in a vase, and it seems to me like the more you cut, the more they grow. So you cut it off and it'll sprout some more, and you'll get more flowers and more flowers. So you don't need to worry about cutting the blooms off of these and, you know, not having any more in your garden. They'll always send up more blooms and more flowers for you the more you cut. So keep that in mind when you're enjoying them out in the garden. You might want to snip a few to take inside as well. Now, when you plant your zinnias, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Most zinnia packages are going to tell you to plant them, or that you can plant them 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. And that's a great way to do it, and it'll get your zinnias started a little bit earlier. But you can also just direct sow them straight into the ground right around or just after your last frost date. They don't want the frost. They want a nice warm growing condition. But I find that even in my short season, I can usually get away with just putting the seeds in the ground and sowing them that way. And then they're not taking up space that is already going to be taken up by a lot of the other more tender or slower to get going vegetables and flowers and things that I'll be growing inside. So I may, just because I have so many varieties that I've never tried before, I may start just a few plants, and I mean a few, like half a dozen or so of each of these inside early, just to see, you know, because I've never tried several of these varieties before. But most of them I will just direct seed, and then I'll know after that if it's worth it with any of these varieties to start a bit earlier. But in my experience with any zinnia that I've had before, just direct seeding them doesn't really seem to set them back that much from from any that I've grown inside. So keep that in mind if you don't have a lot of growing space or a lot of time to be starting things early. These are one that you could just direct sow, or even maybe don't start them 6 to 8 weeks, maybe start them a month in advance. And that would work for you as well too. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you grow zinnias, what you think of zinnias. If you'd like to see me start some of these zinnias, let me know that as well, and I can show you what I do when I start them. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.